It was very special because it just gave me the confidence that like anything is possible. When you think of playing a course such as the Beast, very difficult for 4 rounds, it kind of seems daunting at first, but what it really comes down to is playing each hole moment by moment. There's definitely a competitive drive in everybody out there to do their best, because you don't want to be on the team that loses.
I think until I feel like I show up to a tournament and I'm not there to win is when I'll stop playing. I don't know that kind of mindset of going there and being like, oh, I just want a top 10 here, I just want a top 5. Nobody's going to come out here and put together a perfect tournament. I mean, this course is designed to prevent that. I'm looking forward to the challenge though, and hopefully if it does ever happen, I can be the first one.
I feel super proud to like play for Team Europe, and I think we have a good chance this year. It's only gonna be like 18 holes, I think, for the whole tournament, so anything can happen, and I believe in our team.
I remember I used to dream about being in that team, and now I finally have the opportunity to represent Europe. It's just a big honor, and I'm excited to see how it rolls out.
The Beast is fun because you can throw rollers or sidearms or backhands and long shots and short shots and touch shots, and yeah, it's a great place. But every year the Europeans seem to get stronger and stronger. But I don't know, we seem to just make it happen.
The competition gets better every year as far as Europe goes, and so yeah, we have a great team, and we always do. But it's all about the nerves coming down the stretch. Every shot it matters so much more than a regular tournament. I'm so excited to put on a show for the spectators, and hopefully I can bring it home.
Keeping your head in it for all 4 rounds is going to be really important, and winning's difficult. There's a lot of really good players out there, and it's just trying to put together a complete tournament. But I've definitely put myself in contention quite a bit this year, and I hope to do that again this weekend.
It's so awesome to be here. Like, I live 20 minutes from this course, so I can be at my home, and my family and friends are coming to watch, so it's a big thing to me.
Yeah, we came from Norway, the PCS Open, which was a successful week, amazing trip, just so many memories from that one. And we flew right over Sunday to Helsinki. It was like pretty much a private jet for all the disc golfers. It's pretty much what it felt like. Every disc golfer left on the same flight. It's my favorite course to play tournaments at. I feel like in the first 9 hole, you throw pretty much every shot you have in your bag. You got to touch mid to putter on the first hole, then you got a power forehand on the second hole. Third hole, you can bomb kind of as far as you want, but you still got to control it. 4, you got a tunnel shot, whether it's a power forehand, touch backhand, or roller. And then you got a power forehand with like a putter. Then you got a tunnel shot, and then you got like a power fairway or driver, and then you go back to another like touch shot, and then you get a touch forehand, and that's like all my shots in the first 9 holes. But just such an awesome course to come and compete. It challenges everyone, and you kind of know really what the score is going to be, mid-30s. So you got to be just a little under half every round. In Norway, they decided to take every disc golfer's umbrella, so we all had to find new umbrellas or just kind of bear the rain here. Well, everyone's got their luggage, but nobody has their umbrellas yet.
That's the important thing.
So we're all here waiting for our umbrellas because they took them at the gate and said they had to get clearance, and then we were not going to wait out there to get onto our plane. So we all got on the plane, and they told us our umbrellas were supposed to be coming out here soon. But as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14 disc golfers who are waiting for their umbrellas. Yeah, flew to Helsinki, made it successfully, got our Ford for the week, and made the 2-hour trip up. And yeah, that was all on Sunday. And I think we did get a practice round in on Sunday just to walk the course, get a feel for it. And yeah, pretty smooth travel day. I mean, just two little flights and a short drive. So day one was easy.
Hello, me burger.
Hello, me, yes.
Okay. You want a burger or just meal? Meal or just burger?
Just burger.
Okay. Anything else?
That is all.
Okay, it's $5.95. You can just drive here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Halloumi. Ha, not huh. Ha. Halloumi. All right, it's midnight, maybe a little after midnight. We just finished our round. 11:55. Finished our round. Done for the night. Gonna go chill out and take our time tomorrow because the course is closed for the qualifier.
Where are you going?
I'm not going to my room. See you tomorrow.
My name is Avery Jenkins. I'm the 2009 Disc Golf World Champion, and this is my 11th European Open in attendance. I came over here in 2006 for the first time as a player and had attended, I think 7 or 8 straight before this became a world tour in 2016 and 17, and then came back as a player in 19 and 22. So it's awesome to see where, the humble beginnings of where the European Open started at a course maybe about 8 kilometers away at Epila Disc Golf Park. This is the pinnacle and dream destination of all European high caliber world-class disc golf is here at Nokia. And the European Open, and something that Discmania has hosted ever since, along with Innova and Innova Europe at that time. But UC Maresma is the mastermind behind all this grandioso display and aesthetics and features. It's special. It's a special place in the world, and it's one of those things I think you're judged as a player. Being a top-level player in the U.S. is one thing, but I think being a world-class player that travels the world and play international events, that does kind of put you on a higher echelon of players within the sport.
Currently we are at the site of the European Open. This is a city of Nokia, which is a smaller city right beside city of Tampere. So probably some of you might have heard about Tampere, which is a 200,000 people city. It's actually the biggest inland city in the Nordic countries, so it's a quite big city. The city of Nokia, as you might figure out, is the same name as the former cell phone company. So we actually are here very close to the original Nokia building when they started long time ago. So this is the birthplace of the Nokia company, and we are currently having the European Open here for over 10 years.
UC Maresma is a visionary. He's always looking at the next thing, and I always thought, like, within the chess match of disc golf and broadcasting and really putting this at a very high pedestal, he's always looking a step or two ahead of the game, always thinking where can we take this and how can we get it to the highest levels.
I started in the 90s, and I think I turned pro 98, and that was also the year I went to Stockholm Open. And Stockholm Open was the biggest pro tournament in this area, or whole Scandinavia. And also the Stockholm Open was the biggest tournament in Europe. There were over 150 players, and I remember when I was driving back home from that tournament, I was thinking that I want to create the biggest and the best tournament in Europe. We actually started this event as a different name. Originally, this was a midsummer disc golf festival back in 98 and 99. And then it turned to a Finnish Open, which was kind of the next step into the international event. So we already have like players from Sweden and other countries for the Finnish Open. And then 2005 we were arranging a European Disc Golf Championships. And we had two courses, Tampere-Epilä and this Nokia course.
Bringing all the international players, coming over here in 2006 was my first international travel to Europe. I had been to Japan in previous years, but to come over to Europe and play disc golf was all on, you know, his request to come over here. And in early days, it was me, my sister Valerie, brother-in-law Nate, Ken Climo, Dave Feldberg, Kerry Berlager, and a few other master players, Terry Roddy, and and Dana Lawton from the Oregon. And we all came over here on a whim to see what this was all about, what this tournament he was trying to create was. And again, I say humble beginnings because it was maybe a small tent or two with his parents, his mother and father, and maybe 10 staff members that were running this event. We maybe had 75, 80 players. I don't think we crested 100. And then we had all the top European players. We had Jesper Lundmark, we had Timo Percio, we had Carlos Rio from Spain. Just everybody that was anybody in the high-end level of players in Europe was there as well. And that's when we had the first inaugural President's Cup.
The very first European Open 2006 was almost like a one-man show. There was a very few people building and running the event. I remember actually I was TDing the event, but also I was handling the media communication and relations, also the player coordination, everything pretty much. I was mowing the lawn on greens and everything. So it was a huge task for so little people. I mean, of course we had a local club helping us, but the numbers were very tiny. I mean, I think there were less than 10 people as a whole organization, and they were doing everything. So those early European Opens were almost like one-man shows.
I don't remember the first time I heard about the European Open, but the first time I ever went to Europe was 2011. Went with a bunch of people, and we did like a little tour throughout Europe, and the final event was the European Open. So that was in 2011. I played on the President's Cup team. 2011 I won 2 national tours, Memorial and Beaver State Fling. So I was playing well that year, and then I think I took 18th or something like that here in Europe. So I didn't play that great, but I remember like holes 15, 16 giving me some trouble. I do remember those holes giving me some trouble. And today they're still hard holes. I mean, 2023, they're still 2 of the hardest holes on the course. I mean, you see the tournament pretty much come down to 16 every year at some point.
Right after I had started, the European Open was being played here. And I think I was also scrolling through YouTube at that time, and I came up to the European Open videos where I saw, Paul McBeth, I think it was Ricky Wysocki, maybe KJ, maybe Simon, some of these big names. Then I looked at the video, I was like, there's a bunch of people here, like, is it really this big of a sport in Finland? And then I did some research, and I found out that there's actually like multiple thousand people watching it, and these guys actually make a living, like a pretty okay living out of disc golf.
I remember watching it from YouTube, and I was pretty lucky to come here and watch it in 2013. So that year when I think it was the battle between Paul and David Feldberg, I got the chance to watch it the whole battle on the Sunday, and that was a pretty nice experience.
Well, first I just want to say thank you, UC, for putting on this event. It brings all us Americans out here and a lot of the European players out here. So thank you for putting this event on, and the staff. They ran an incredible tournament. I don't know if I'll ever fully know if I'm doing the right thing, because I feel like I can always do more. But one thing that I learned earlier this year was just, if you can just help someone and then go out and reach just one more person, that's something that stuck with me, was just one more. Just see if you can touch one more life. Like, don't be like, I want to change the world, I want to change this. Just change one life. And that goes such a long way, because if we can all just help one person, I think we'd be set. All right, so we're at the Beast right now. We are playing a practice round, and I'm walking up close so I look taller, because I got two tall special guests here, Larry Markkinen and Eero Markkinen. And we're gonna attack the beast and hopefully not embarrass ourselves.
Jaahas. I think I was going to throw. Eero is saying
that's perfect.
Eero is saying I should throw a roller, but I'll give you this hole. Oh.
All right, Larry, quick question.
So,
When did you first throw a disc, and how often do you get to play disc golf now?
I randomly started by founding a disc in 2012, but I more so started playing a couple years ago, and now I would say I probably get a round in maybe. On a good week I might get 2, but maybe once a week.
Well, that's pretty good. You know what's actually funny is I played around with Christopher Heavue. You ever watch Game of Thrones?
I actually have not.
Me either. But he's one of the main characters, and he started disc golf because he found a disc on a run. That's a rip. Yeah? Oh, you just hit the path. That was the only thing. Oh, perfect start.
Yeah, you took a 3 now, but I remember you throwing a 10 last year, so.
Yeah, actually, I got that term because my grandfather used to bowl. And he said when you bowl, you shake hands with the pins. So my putt's
yeah, I
the
guess
same.
that really doesn't go with.
On basketball, yeah.
Cookie jar, that's what we say. Like reach for the cookies, it's like right here. But then nobody really teaches like, you gotta hold the jar so it doesn't drop.
You guys might get me here.
Oh, I might have a chance.
Might have a chance now.
This is what we were waiting. Do I throw a roller or a forehand?
Probably not after what I did.
Or a forehand.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
Well, you can get him too.
Oh my God.
Oh, going with the roller. Come on. Got some speed to get up there.
Actually, that's pretty good.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect. Skip him.
Skip.
Oh, he tried. No, don't roll.
Stop.
Oh,
Damn.
that's so far gone. Oh, that looks real good. That's actually the perfect line to stop the disc.
And our first birdie of the day.
There it is. Almost bullseye. Birdies are up.
Same disc as last year.
Parked this hole last year, let's see.
Ah.
Oh, got the bird.
Oh, that was bad.
You see it?
Over the tree.
No.
We'll fade to the back.
That was so close too.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, it's all the way at the bottom.
Because you never lay it up, huh?
Not very often. I feel like I should be hitting the basket at least every time from this far. So believe it or not, you're the first NBA basketball player, NBA all-star basketball player that I'm playing a disc golf round with. How was that? Being an all-star, playing in the game.
I mean, as a kid, I didn't really even dream about that. But once I got to league, that was my goal. And the whole weekend was to wait for that moment when you get to walk out the smoke or fog or whatever they have, like out beneath the stage.
And on
like
top of it, it was in Utah.
Exactly.
Which was
having a home.
Yeah. That's got a chance. It's got a good chance.
Ah. At least I'm in bounds.
Oh, he stayed in. You said you appreciate it, LeBron?
I mean, I appreciate him coming through.
Oh, gotcha.
But like,
gotcha.
I appreciate him like.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you wanted to shout him out, he'll probably see this. So. Do you think what you did in Cleveland helped you when you went to Utah?
For sure.
Playing
like,
three? 'Cause
I played a different position and kind of changed my workout before that, like what I do, and tried to make myself a little bit faster, and then they ended up putting me at the 3. So
that's sick.
That was a big summer for me. And then I wasn't probably the best player on that Cavs team, but like I enjoyed the challenge so I got a lot better. And then I've talked about it openly, like the last 2 years in Chicago were pretty rough, like mentally, and then Cleveland was such a fun year with those guys, and like it kind of put me back on.
Oh! Oh, come on. Land right next to mine. Oh, that's perfect. So just so you know, it's going straight left. Not a chance it goes right.
I'll believe you.
I don't throw that disc because it's too overstable.
I can't get to that left.
Yeah, look at the putting stroke. Would you save a bogey?
Yeah.
This is for my par.
This guy is on every video. Like, he must be pretty good.
Me, I was on every video. Yeah.
Like I was.
2019, I played well. Yes.
Putting up on YouTube just some disc golf coverage, and you were on every single clip. So then I started getting more into it, and my wife actually said, like, you should like text him that like I'm watching you, and maybe get some tips or something. And then I go on Instagram and it says follow back. And like, oh crap. I put message and I saw you like DM me like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Respond on some kind of story that like, cool to see you play disc golf. And I'm like, I'm pretty bad with social media. Sorry about not getting back to you.
I only respond once every 3 years. Oh, that's a yank job. Flip, flip.
Oh my God.
I didn't even make the cut at that one.
It's that one tree.
Yeah, that's perfect. Get up, get up, get up,
one's gonna
get up,
flip.
get up. Oh. Flip, flip, flip.
Yep. That's far.
Oh, it's going through. Oh, it's in the stands. Forward.
Forward. Hey.
There it is for the par. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that round. That was a fun one. Not much history, but a lot of banter, a lot of fun. So thank you guys for joining me for this practice round. I got a lot of good practice in there. How'd you guys do? You ready for this weekend?
Yeah, I got a lot of practice too. I got better. That's all I can ask for.
You did. You hit your goals. You hit your goals early and made the triple mandatory. Got your birdie.
Beat you on one hole. Don't forget about that.
No, you beat me on that hole. I'm gonna birdie all 3 rounds now. I'm motivated to not let that one slip. But
yeah, that's what I was here to do. Just build up your confidence and
humble me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I look forward to following your journey. Yeah, you got some national teams coming up now that you are done. You did your military service this summer, so you'll be dunking on some international centers.
Gotta get you to Utah to catch a game.
Yep. And thank you, Iro, for joining. And
thanks for having me.
You're in season right now.
Yes.
I mean, we're in July, so he's in season. And yeah, hope everyone enjoyed. And this is my last tournament in Europe, so I'm ready to be home. Headed to meet our boy Jan to get some fresh haircuts for the week. He rented out a chair this week for his haircuts that he gives to all the players the week of the event, which it's kind of become a tradition now.
My name is Jonas. I'm from Tampere, Finland, and I've been caddying for Paul for 10 years now.
Jonas, he pulled me over there. I was taking a little snack, and he's like, "Paul, you're up 3 strokes right here. Here's what you're throwing." Just handed me the rock. He's like, "You don't need any birdies here. Just put it in the middle and take your pars." And I mean, very intelligent 14-year-old kid, and I listened to him. You know, he sounded like he knew what he was talking about, and you know, I trusted his words and threw the rock right here. And
first time I met Paul, it was like 2 years maybe after I had heard of him, and he, at this point, he had already won 2 world championships, so he was about to come or about to be a superstar, or he already kind of was. And yeah, I was traveling to Järva, watch European Masters, and at the players meeting I ended up sitting in the first row, and for some reason Paul sat next to him, and I've been saying that's the moment that actually changed my life. For some reason I asked Paul if I could caddy him, and that was really great, and here we are almost, it's hard to think, it's been almost 10 years now. I've grown watching how Paul evolves as a player, and that's been really cool to see, and I assume that the feeling is mutual. I've been growing from this to this since we met with Paul, so yeah, it's been a long ride.
So coming off PCS, my game felt better than ever. Throwing the disc really well, putting really well, and just like all the confidence in the world. You know, I played really good there, great rounds, and just great competition. And was carrying that over. Practice round Sunday was great. Monday was great. Tuesday was great, leading up to the President's Cup. So everything was feeling great. You know, riding the confidence and all that stuff. And I was looking forward to coming out here and battling, but didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my idea to have a team event between, you know, great teams, but that was kind of the way that I was able to get at least a handful of US pros here, because we already had the first edition of the President's Cup at 2006 European Open. So it was important to have a full team of US pros come over here. So that was kind of the first step. But of course, on the bigger scene, I wanted to create something that can be, you know, living way past me as a tradition in disc golf.
I hope you guys are honored to represent the USA. We're 10-0, as you probably know. As I said last time I was captain, we invented this game. These guys have it now. They've got a lot of it. These are our friends. We're looking to get out there and play them, but we invented this game. And we're going to try to make it 11-0. And I believe this first part is 4 points to the winner of the strokes, 9-hole stroke play. 4 points, then 2 points, then 1 point, then 0 points. We need some 4s. Because you can kind of end the thing before lunch. If we can come out and win, if we can win every foursome, take those big 4 points, that's huge. And then going into that second match play thing, a lot of the pressure's off. Obviously, they probably don't think they're going to win, but if we give them hope, that's the way they're going to be able to do it someday. No streak can last forever. But I don't want to be the first guy to lose to them. So let's get out there, put the foot down right away. Try to do what we can to come out in those first 3 holes serious and see if we can put them get their hearts racing right away. And then we get out of that first round, then we have 9 more holes straight up against the seeding. I'm going to seed Eagle McMahon number 1, Paul McBeth number 2, Ricky Wysocki number 3, Calvin Heimberg number 4, Chris Dickerson number 5, Isaac Robinson number 6, Katrina Allen number 1, Missy Gannon number 2. So that's going to be your pairings coming across.
Only 9 holes left to go. Got to come out swinging.
Oh man, second round of President's Cup started off score-wise pretty similar. Parred hole 1, but score didn't matter. It was about match play. So pushed hole 1, had a chance to gain 1 early, got 1 on the second hole, and then we kind of just bounced back and forth the entire time. And I got a really bad spit on him. Yeah, Paul! The 4th hole, which allowed him to tie it back up.
Bang! No
somehow
way!
It comes out off the post, and he can't believe it.
Then we kind of just pushed. I got 1. He got 1 back, so we were tied with 2 to go. And at that point, we had 2 holes left. At that point, whatever happened to our match decided who was winning President's Cup. So on hole 17, he threw his drive pretty bad. He was fortunate to stay in bounds, and then I put mine 45 feet maybe, and he left his upshot quite a bit short. So I tried to make mine and ended up airballing it right. And it's pretty windy, so his 20-footer was a little bit shaky, and he spun it out of the basket, and then I was up 1.
Oh my goodness. And Lettinen is going to lose the hole, and wow, that puts the USA very much back in the driver's seat.
Because if we tied overall, Europe would win. So I had to win the match outright. And I threw my tee shot inbounds.
McBeth's disc is rolling perilously close to the OB, but it does stay safe.
And he threw his tee shot just out of bounds.
To have it in.
Not a bad guy's hands for it to be in at all. Lowry, disc away. He's waving it down.
This is going to be much shorter.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that hits the post. Did it stay safe?
That's on the
off
other
the
side.
Post?
So at that point, a par for me would tie the hole and win the match. And win it for Team USA. So I took my zone, laid it up halfway. He threw his shot. He barely stayed in bounds, so I still had to get up and down. And it was a long jump putt that I just threw under the basket. He made his putt, and I had to hit my 15-footer for the win and for Team USA.
Winning putt by Paul McBeth. We're going to start the prize ceremony in just a moment.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to my great team. Thank you to Team Europe for an amazing battle. It's way closer than I wanted it to be honest with you. But they really played well. Some amazing shots all day. Thanks to all the fans for coming out, and to the European Open organizers for putting on this great event. Let's go USA!
I did end up hurting myself a little bit on Tuesday, yeah. So I played in the morning, then did my press conference at 4 something, I think it was, and I went out and knew I'd get one full practice round in before Wednesday, which is the President's Cup, and it kind of starts early, so you can't really sneak any practice in there before. I thought I was on 18, I threw my tee shot, kind of landed at one of those trees down there, which is very common. Like, it's not that hard to to land in there. Like, it happens, you know, quite often. So my disc, one of my drives was in there, threw multiple because I was practicing, and I was just going to pick it up, and I was like, you know what, I should practice this just in case. And so I put my foot in there, had a patent pending stance, and I pulled out my force, and I went to throw it up there to see if I can get a birdie in case I needed it. And threw it, and then just kind of like had a pop in my shoulder, and I was like, no. And I immediately told you right after it happened, I was like, dang, I just hurt my shoulder. I didn't know how bad. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like, I'm done. It was just like, that wasn't right. That wasn't normal. Yeah, I went on to play the practice the next day, because that was the final hole. Went on the next day and played President's Cup, and just did that, and just like, game just didn't feel like it was still like it was there. Like, it felt like something was off, but I didn't really have any pain or anything besides a little bit of discomfort.
From 2006 until 2009, we had 3 European Opens in Tampere, in Epilä. But already in 2009, we kind of outgrew that place. I mean, the property is much smaller, there is less facilities, and it can take less fans. And at that time, disc golf was kind of having its first boom, as I can say, in Finland. So there were more than 1,000 people spectating that event. So we had to find another place. And of course, this was already in our radar because we had a European Championships here in 2005. So the idea came that, okay, we need to make this as a spectator event. And 2011, we moved here.
This is a huge deal for us, and it's going to be seen here. Last year Sunday, there was 5,000 people in here. I think that's all you need to know to understand how important this is for us Finnish fans and fans all around Europe.
I think this tournament has the most meaning out of any Finnish tournament because it's huge. You got all of these US players here, and it makes you feel like you're on your home turf. You know, for me and many players out here, we're very familiar with the course here. You know, we're comfortable with the place. You got your, local, normal grocery stores. Everything in Finland is familiar, but then you see all of these big players coming out here. It makes you feel like Finland is advancing in disc golf and that Finland actually matters, and that we're a world leader in the sport.
I think this might be one of the biggest tournaments this season. This is getting like the crazy amount of attention from the newspapers, like the social media, Finnish social media, and of course there's good players coming from the States as well, and a major. So, and the feeling that we are playing in our home turf against of the best players, that's something different, something special to me, and it's been like one of the most important tournaments for me, for sure.
Of course, there are 2 things because it's so big. First thing, it's my home country, so it's a very big thing for me to play in front of my home audience and like my family and friends and everything like that. And second thing, that it's a major. Of course, my next goal in my career is to win a major, and if I could do it like in front of my home audience, I think that's one of the most difficult things to do as an athlete, to win at home. So that's like a lot of pressure, but I also like that in some ways.
It's very obvious to see the growth and the transition, and the level of play has definitely risen a lot. This is my 27th trip to Europe over the last 13 years. I used to come over here for a lot of tournaments, play Euro Tour events, obviously European Open Major, Stockholm Majors, even Skellefteå back in the day, and man, Europe's serious about it, and they absolutely love disc golf, and they're big fans of it, and they'll go out of their way to spectate and be a part of these events. And I think just we're on the cusp and brink of something huge, and we always dreamed of these times, and Europe has definitely showcased and put disc golf at the highest level at these big events, and you can see by the fan base and the spectators that come out and the most interest, because there's a sport they love, there's a sport they want to be a part of, and there's their favorite players out here that they get to see firsthand, right in front of them, watch them play. Disc golf's not one of those things where it used to be kind of, really accessible to get out to. Now it's on demand, which is awesome. And as a player, just the more spectators, the more support, the more sponsorship, the bigger the purses, the bigger the salaries, and this sport becomes legitimate, a professional sport. So it's something we've always dreamed of, but I think interacting with Europe and US and having a full-on, international tour is going to do a lot for the growth of the sport and bring in bigger companies, bigger sponsorships, and bigger events. So I'm looking forward to the days of that, and it's been a long time coming, but disc golf is a real deal on the professional side these days.
Got a feature card of 330 with Matty O, Eagle McMahon, and Kyle Klein. So that'll be a fun group. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of interesting routes today. So.
Our goal is to make the finest disc golf event in the world. But then as a sport and as an event, we need to have everything else aside of it. I mean, we're expecting 15,000 spectators here for the week, so obviously we need to have an experience for them too. Most of them are coming for, the great and the best disc golf, but there needs to be something else too. I mean, I have been, of course, benchmarking other, bigger sports and events that, okay, what they do, how they do it, and what makes them as an event that, I want to go. And I think that we are past the point where we are just making this sport for ourselves. But there are not too many events that there is like a local family or even a family from abroad wants to and be here for the week and see the best disc golf in the world, have some great street food on site, and see and feel city of Nokia, Finland, and all the experience.
Being at a sports facility, they got access to, the fields and the warm-up. You got the actual hockey arena where it's a tournament central. It's a warm-up area, it's a pro shop, it's a concessions, it's a central hub for all the media and a place where you can do a lot of charging of batteries and storing of cameras. It's got everything, and that's what I think separates itself from a lot of other courses out there that it's just a course out in a park. You don't have access to the amenities, and having a sports facility and having the arena is a huge thing. Even during, rain delays or for spectators, I think the vending's huge with food and drink, but also having a pro shop is huge as well. And then all the bells and whistles. You dial this place up with all the banners and all the flags, and it just puts on the presentation that this is a real deal professional event.
I think this event has probably the best and most consistent gallery I've ever seen on a disc golf course. Even myself, I was playing on like the 7th card today. There was some people watching, and on the open holes there's like multiple hundred people watching all throughout the day. So it's just crazy, It's a huge event for us players, but also for the viewers, since they are getting inspired in a way that doesn't really happen on any other tournament.
It's so crazy. It's so many people watching. Like they're like lining down on every hole. You can only see like people everywhere, and it's just different feeling playing disc golf in front of so many people, and you don't get that anywhere else than here at Nokia. And yeah, I think I was watching European Open like every year when I was growing up, and I just saw Paul McBeth winning it every time. So it was kind of refreshing to see Eagle win last year.
I think it's different comparing like other tournament, because here in the Sunday there's I think there's gonna be like over 5,000 people, and comparing to having like a 5,000 people gallery, like the 2,000 people, the noise and the claps and everything are so much different, and people are actually like cheering. Okay, let's go, let's do it, and yeah, it's amazing.
Paul and other Americans coming here, it gives hope, it gives dreams, it gives everything to, except for the young people. It's giving so much hope for that there's actually something that you can be with playing disc golf. Because when I started and somebody said that they would play disc golf, I would never have thought that that's gonna make a profession someday. And guys like Paul, Ricky, as I many times told Nikko, Seppo, Väinö, Niklas, they've shown to every single one that you can actually achieve things with disc golf only by playing. And then there's tons of other stuff that actions of these guys have made it come through.
Round one came, and I just noticed like it's hard for me to like lift my arm up, and like kind of like the putting motion more so than anything. And my arm was a little bit sore from forehands. And then that night after round one, I like woke up in the middle of the night and my whole arm was like numb, like dead, like just numb. And I like woke up and I was like, what? Like it's just like that falling asleep feeling. I lift my arm up to get the blood flowing, and I let it go and it just fell right on my face. And like kind of scared me, because I'd never had my arm just like not be able to move like that, like just completely paralyzed. And so like I just started like moving my fingers, trying to get blood rushing to it, and I like did it again, and still like couldn't, like at least I could move this part at that point. And like I was like, man, I've been alive 33 years and I've never had my arm be that dead before. Yeah, I mean, the trip didn't end as competitively the way I wanted it to end, but there's so many positives that have come out of this trip. I mean, I've been here 8.5 weeks now, from Spain to here in Finland now, and 8 different countries. Well, I shouldn't say 8 different countries, 6 different countries, 8 different events. And I mean, it was something that I've wanted to do for a while, and just being able to finally do it, I'm just so happy and thankful for what disc golf has done for my life, and seeing how many different people I've run into because of disc golf, just knowing that it has a piece of their life too. I try to think back right now to every stop that we had and just how unique everyone was, from the golf course, the former golf course that we played in Krokol, to this piece of property on a river in Croatia. And then, now we're here at Finland. We're at a sports park where there's hockey rinks, and we got a disc golf course set up with thousands and thousands and thousands of spectators that are out here watching the competition, to playing a small tournament like Konopiste. You go to one of the oldest cities in Prague, and then you go to Konopiste where you're playing on a castle. It's just insane to think about that I've been to so many different places to play disc golf because of disc golf, and just how many people I've run into and how many people's lives have been affected in, I'm sure, majority positive ways due to just these round plastic piece of object that we throw in the sky. So yeah, I mean, this trip was a huge success, and it wasn't all about the tournaments and the results. It was about the experience and just being able to meet fans and meet people, like more than just fans, and make friendships. So yeah, it's something that, I'm just really happy that I was finally able to do.
He's the most significant player in disc golf as a player, because he really understands what is what it's all about. It's not only for him or the players or the tournaments or the trophies. It's about the fans and making disc golf bigger and bigger everywhere in the world. I mean, through his foundation, but way before his foundation, we were running promotional tours here in Finland when he was here, and he took 1 week off. He shares the same idea, what we need to do in order to make disc golf bigger, and that's something that I value a lot.
Yeah, the experience on Euro Tour was amazing. I mean, all the battles with the people that I had a battle. I would not say really a battle with Paul in Croatia because he beat me by like 8 strokes or something. But I was there. I was playing with him on lead card, same in Konopiště. So I definitely I was happy because yeah, I made the right decision and it paid off.
My experience for this year as far as the Euro Tour has been amazing, especially since I kind of got used to the standard of last year's Euro Tour events. They were, they were good, but they were kind of like random events and not really a tour. But this year I feel like the Euro Tour is really a good, well put together tour that is well organized. Well, as I said before, it has a lot of media. There's just a lot of hype around the tour, and it's been awesome.
It's nice to see that we are finally having like a good, legit tour in Europe, and I feel like it's gonna expand more in the future, and hopefully there's gonna be like a 2-month stretch that United States players need to think about. Okay, we need to go to Europe, get the DGPT points, and get the competition going on. That's gonna be like mandatory for the all players coming to compete in the Europe middle of the season, and I'm hoping that because that's gonna happen in the near future.
Round 3 starts in an hour and a half. I'm quite a ways back, but the goal today is start out very hot, and I want to be leading the tournament at some point today. I feel fine overall. My shoulder's been very sore this week though, obviously what I told you during practice, but it's all good.
Yes, sir!
Nokia Disc Golf Park transitioned into the Beast for the PDJ Major and the European Open. And so this typically sits as I believe a 9 or a 12 hole course dialed back, but they have access to the entire property. So when the European Open's in town, everything's stretched, everything's lengthened, the holes are much longer, and then you start bringing in the ropes and the OB lines. And so it's evolved and changed. It's been cool to see the evolution of this course and how it's transformed based on the skill level of players and the speed and distance of disc these days.
We call this course a beast. I think that kind of describes pretty well the nature of this course. When it's windy, when it's a little rainy, this course can bite you. But even in a sunny day, it can attack you on almost any hole. And what I like this course pretty much the most, that this is a very well-rounded course. You need to have every single shot in your bag in order to make great here.
I'm not saying this is like a regular course, because if we are playing like a regular Disc Golf Pro Tour courses in the United States, you need to have a ton of distance and not like that accurate shots, I feel like, on some point, and not like a sharp shading as much that you need to have here. And here the landing zones are like the basket placement are pretty difficult. You need to be pretty sure how you are gonna land to the greens, how you're gonna approach them, and you need to be like careful all the time because there's OB everywhere. But the whole course is beautiful. The area is like so nice because the ending 4 holes, because that's wide open, nice greens. There's gonna fit so much gallery in the Sunday when the final holes are happening, and yeah, it's magical.
Yeah, I definitely think that Paul McBeth helped with the growth of Euro Tour a lot. It's everyone was able to see it on the tournaments. There was so many people following the live play. I think the galleries were sometimes even bigger than on like Worlds last year in US, which is great for the sport, and he definitely helped with the growth of disc golf in Europe a lot.
But seeing this sport grow out of its shell, like it used to be, as I said, really underground sport here in Finland when I started. But then guys like Jussi and Väinö, and especially Väinö and Niklas, the ones who are doing the social media and give the young children hope to play, that we can actually be there one day. That's the most touching part. That's the part that drives me to do my best in every way in every single part of disc golf.
We as Europeans, we need to go to US to play tournaments there, and they need to come here to play all the tournaments here. And it's not only like one swing in Europe. It's also gonna play like multiple Elite Series events and majors and everything, because I think that's what like professional athletes do. They go in different places and not only in their home country. So I think that's the thing for me, to have like equal chances for everybody.
Like, I didn't come to the Euro Tour to be like, I'm going there to play certain people and this and that. I came because I wanted to come and play in Europe. Like, I wanted to come play courses that I've never played. I want to have experiences I've never had. I've played in the States. This is my 16th or 17th year touring professionally. And I go to Europe for 1 year, and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, like, why is he going there? Like, this is he's going for lesser competitions. Like, I just finally wanted to go play tournaments I wanted to play, you know, and experience things I haven't experienced, meet people I've never would meet if I just stayed in the, you know, in the US tour, you know. But I think what the Pro Tour is doing is great, and I think what the Euro Tour is doing is great, and maybe one day they combined in some way to host these bigger and super events, you know. I don't know, but the Euro Tour is great, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the Pro Tour if they ever come together in more ways. But it's also going to elevate the European players. It's going to increase their visibility. It's going to increase their competitiveness. It's going to increase their skill level, just because there's going to be more of them, and there's going to be more eyes, because, you know, they want to perform on camera as well, because they don't have, unfortunately, they don't have an equal opportunity as far as events and the size. They have to come to the States, and I can tell you it's not easy. I came here for 8.5 weeks. I can't imagine having to do it for a whole year in the States, in a foreign country, the way that they've had to do it. And they are probably not getting the help or aid that I'm getting on this tour. All right, final day. Definitely not in the position I want to be to win this tournament. Need an absolute miracle, which luckily every hole is birdieable. A handful are eagleable. I need them all to happen in the same round. So, yeah, big hill to climb, but a great round. We'll be up the leaderboard. I think I'm 5 or so out of the top 10. So that's definitely manageable. But I'm 13 out of the first, so definitely underwhelming finale to this European trip, but it was a good one. So one more round and this 8.5-week trip in Europe is over.
First on the tee, currently at 13 under par, your 6-time world champion and 5-time European Open champion, representing Team Discraft, Paul McBeth!
I don't get hurt that often playing. You know, there's always little things that hurt here and there, but nothing that's going to prevent me from being able to lift my arm up to make a putt. So the least athletic part of the game is difficult. So that's the sign saying, okay, maybe I should stop. Then it just progressively got worse as the tournament went on, and to the point where I was like, man, if I can't throw this simple shot or this shot right there, like there's no point in me really playing anymore. And kind of got to that point in round 4, and I'd been working with Seth Muncy the last couple days, and it just sucks. Like it really sucks. Like it's so hard. Like even when I told you, Joey, and I told my caddy, like Jonas, I was like, I can't play anymore. I can't throw anymore.
Power just stop.
Yeah, because if I lift this one up, I can get it this side. This one goes this side.
Yeah.
And it hurts. But also it's sending tingling down my arm.
Like this.
Well, like when your hand falls asleep. I just wanted to stick around. I didn't want to leave the card. I told the group, I was like, hey, I'm leaving on this, and I just wanted to stay and like watch them play still, because I didn't want to leave. Like it's just so hard to walk away, and I'd already committed to caddying for AB. I told him like, oh, I'll probably catch you on hole 11 or something once I'm done with my round. And once I walked away, I just messaged Seth Muncy. I was like, hey, like, I don't know, it just sucks. Like I came out here, like I was feeling great, and the last tournament just do something to my shoulder. And Seth was like, you know, I don't have MRI eyes, so I can't tell you what's wrong. But he's like, nothing gives me an immediate red flag, but there's a couple of yellow flags to where we should do some further stuff with this and find out a little bit more.
Paul McBeth is bringing a lot of eyes to the European Tour by playing all these high-scale European events. He's making them a real deal. He's making them more serious. They just kind of be heavy on the European side by having a U.S. player, international player attend, but not just a regular international player, but a 6-time world champion, a 5-time European champion, and European Open champion. The effect that he brings, he's one of, if not the most popular player in disc golf for, obvious reason. And he's going to draw in fans from all over the country where he plays. And by having, these tournaments that might have not gotten the press or the coverage or the media, these tournaments are now being, put on display and getting really good coverage through the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And that's only going to help grow disc golf in Europe. I think it was a good play by the media, by the Disc Golf Pro Tour, even by him to dedicate, his time and take off the U.S. Tour to come over here and play. I think it's good for his career. I think it's good for his longevity and good for his legacy is the biggest part of it.
Paul McBeth being on the Euro Tour might be the biggest support you could get to the Euro Tour. Not only on the European side with all the European players, how legit the tour is, but also I think it will most definitely encourage some of the other US players to come here in the future and hopefully see that it's a real possibility. We got a great tour that I don't think is really lacking to the US tour with any other factor than maybe just slightly the media and just slightly the money. But everything else about this tour I think is just as good as in the US.
Not everyone is able to travel all around the world like us, so in every country there is a lot of good players, and it's gonna help them to figure out if they want to do it or if they don't want to do it. They just gonna try it in their country, and I think it's very important to have big tournaments and on hard courses in as many countries as possible.
Here, Paul is the pioneer, showing that we have competitive level here in disc golf here in Europe also. It's not only about the US. It's not only about the Beaver State Fling and those kind of events that are considered big events in US. But we have also very competitive fields.
If you want to have like a real competition, it's not only going to be in like US, because we have great players in Europe, and if we want to play like the best disc golf we can find in this world, we need to play everywhere in the world. That's the biggest thing for me, I think, to find like the best players, because as I said, they can't go to US all of them because they don't have the financial stuff as I do, for example.
Yeah, I think the most difficult thing is that when you want to take like another step with your career and hopefully taking like a next step in your game, that you might need to go to the States, and the most difficult part is that you might have any connections in United States, where you go, where you eat. And for me, because I had such a good connection, Seppo and like all the other Finnish like good legendary players who helped me through all the things that that needed to do, that I go to the States. And yeah, I feel like the connection, that might be the most difficult part that is facing like the most European players.
Just knowing the people that I've met on this trip, from the tournament directors to the fans to the volunteers, it's just been incredible in every way, in the sense of the tournament directors had more eyes and more fans and more volunteers and more just help in general at every tournament. And like, I just go to like something like the Swedish Open, for example. Like, I don't know if anyone would have heard or seen the Swedish Open in the US if I didn't go. I don't know if people would have heard or seen about Krokl or Croatia or the Estonian tournament. These tournaments that weren't a major like Skellefteå has been, like Konopista has been, like PCS or things. And I think those are the places that I had the biggest impact on. And like Croatia was just incredible to me because there was 24 countries represented at that tournament. Like, I didn't meet everyone at that tournament, but I met people from countries that barely, if not, like, might not even have a disc golf course. And I've met people that came that didn't play in the tournament that were from like Turkey or some of these other countries that don't have disc golf, and they're still looking for their first disc golf tournament, but they came out to that tournament with the opportunity to potentially watch me play and meet me. That just doesn't happen in the US. Every state in the US has multiple courses. So yeah, I think it had a really big impact.
Even if Paul doesn't play that well, but I get to see all of my friends that I haven't seen all year, and I just get to be one with the community.
My tournament didn't end how I wanted. I had to DNF due to my shoulder, just not being able to even putt. So I've got to go get that done. But positives are I got to go out, caddy for Anthony. Met him on hole 6, caddied till the end, and he was playing so good until 16, and 16 just does what 16 does, and he claimed AB this year. But he was leading that, hitting big putts, throwing great drives, and just 16. And it was incredible to watch that battle. Kyle, Corey, AB, Calvin was struggling, but fought his way back towards the end, and congrats to Corey. I mean, he's been so close to so many big wins, but couldn't pull it out, so finally took one down. It's been 8.5 weeks, and this trip is officially over.